Today I'm going to talk about whether a vegan diet really is healthy. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. This is Dr. Hood, medical doctor, here to help busy people like you get lean and stay fit whilst eating more and exercising smartly. If this is your first time on this channel, then please consider subscribing so you can be notified about videos which I'm going to post on a weekly basis. Today I'm going to talk about whether a vegan diet really is healthy. Specifically, is it healthier than a diet that includes meat, fish, poultry, eggs and dairy? Let me start off by saying that this video is not an attack on people who choose to carry out a vegan lifestyle or on the vegan diet itself. It's simply a video on the nutritional aspects of veganism and not about the ethical or nutritional arguments. One of the reasons behind doing this video is that there is a lot of misinformation out there about what constitutes a healthy diet, what things we should include in a healthy diet, what things we should exclude. And unfortunately, this includes certain aspects of the vegan diet. And there's a lot of misinformation that excluding completely all animal products, including meat, poultry, fish, eggs and dairy products is beneficial both for weight loss and also for general health. So, purely from a scientific and nutritional perspective, I'm going to answer briefly one simple question. Is the vegan diet healthier than a conventional diet that includes animal products? Breaking this question down even further, is the vegan diet more nutritious than a conventional diet? And does the vegan diet reduce your risk of chronic disease? Does it improve your life expectancy? And is it good for your health in both the short term and in the long term? First of all, it's not always easy to answer this question because it depends what you're comparing. If you're comparing a well-balanced vegan diet to a standard Western diet that's high in processed carbohydrates, sugar and bad fats, then a well-balanced, nutrient-dense vegan diet is obviously superior and will help you to lose weight, get fitter and probably good for you in the short term and the long term. But if you're comparing a nutrient-dense vegan diet to a well-balanced omnivore diet that includes plant and meat products, then you have an important question: which is healthier, both in nutrition content and also for your short-term and long-term health? When you look at it from that point of view, you have to come to the conclusion that a well-balanced standard diet that includes animal products is superior from a nutritional point of view to a vegan one. The reason is this: animal products like meat, fish, poultry, eggs and dairy products are extremely nutrient dense and provide a lot of macro and micronutrients that cannot be sufficiently provided from a vegan diet alone. A plant-only diet doesn't give you sufficient quantities of certain vitamins and minerals, including vitamin K2, folate, iron, calcium, vitamin D. B12, for example, is only really present in sufficient quantities in animal products such as red meat. There's also a lot less fat within a vegan diet, and particularly the quite important fatty acid omega-3. The reduction in fat in your diet also means you're unable to absorb sufficient quantities of certain vitamins such as vitamin A, K and E. Of course, this problem can be solved by adding supplements of these micronutrients to a vegan diet. But this does suggest, therefore, that on its own, a vegan diet is less nutritious than a conventional diet that includes animal products and doesn't meet your body's demands for energy and nourishment. But on that point, let's step back for a second. If a vegan diet with supplementation can be considered healthier in other ways, for example providing a short-term or long-term effect on your health, then maybe it can be considered than a conventional diet that includes animal products. For example, if a vegan diet that was supplemented reduces your risk of chronic disease, reduces your risk of cancer, improves your life expectancy, then maybe you could argue that a vegan diet is superior to one that includes meat, fish, dairy products and eggs. Despite there being a lot of research on this topic, it's still quite a difficult question to answer. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, most people in comparative studies actually eat meat, so the percentage of vegans and vegetarians is lower. And secondly, there is something called the healthy user effect. Those who choose a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle tend to have other more healthier lifestyle choices. They tend to smoke less, they tend to be less overweight and tend to be more active. So this can have a bias in interpreting the results, which is difficult to separate when you want to only compare eating animal products to not eating them. So several studies that have compared outcomes such as weight, such as risk of cancer or chronic disease have had this bias where the vegan and vegetarian groups tend to have other healthier lifestyle choices which can't be so easily separated when interpreting the results of a study. Some studies have in fact shown no difference in certain outcomes between following a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle and following a lifestyle that includes the consumption of meat. One example is a study that looked at over 200,000 men and women in Australia for a 6-year period, known as a 45 and up study. It showed no difference in all-cause mortality, which means death from any cause, between the meat-eating group and the vegetarian and vegan group, even though the meat-eating group actually had worse lifestyle choices such as higher rates of smoking and higher levels of obesity. If you're interested in reading this, I'll provide a link for this study in the description below. Another interesting study that's worth reading, and I'll provide a link for it in the description below, is known as the Healthy Food Shopper Study. This looked at around 11,000 people who mainly shopped in health food stores, so therefore made good lifestyle choices, and included vegetarians and non-vegetarians. And one important finding was it found that increased fruit and vegetable intake was associated with a reduction in the risk of developing heart disease, stroke, and death. However, there was no difference in these outcomes between the vegetarian and non-vegetarian group. A lot of studies that are quoted in support of a vegan or vegetarian diet actually only prove that an increase in nutrient-dense fruit and vegetables reduces your risk of chronic disease, of cancer, and of early death. So there's definite evidence and definite benefit of maximizing nutrient-dense vegetables and fruit in your diet, but not necessarily any evidence of reducing or excluding nutrient-dense meat, fish, poultry, eggs, and dairy. What about studies that have found a link between specific animal products and increased risk of disease? I would argue that the overall body of evidence does not support a strong link between animal products and an increased risk of cancer, heart disease, stroke, and early death, and definitely doesn't provide enough evidence to completely exclude these from your diet. I provided links to 2 other videos which I've made about saturated fat and heart disease, as most saturated fat comes from animal products, and also one about the health benefits of red meat and the supposed links to increased risk of cancer and heart disease. In summary, purely from a nutritional point of view, not from an ethical, not from an environmental point of view, a nutritional point of view, a vegan diet is not superior to a diet that includes nutrient-dense foods such as meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy. But it's important to remember that the overall body of evidence does support maximizing nutrient-dense plants in your diet. So a plant-focused or plant-based diet is the best diet that includes other nutrient-dense animal products. However, a plant-only diet can be quite nutrient deplete and may not be better for your overall health in the short or long term. If you do choose to follow a vegan diet for whatever reason, then make sure to do the following things. Eat whole unprocessed foods. Avoid fake foods like fake meats and fake cheeses, which are full of highly processed ingredients, including bad fats. And make sure not to make the mistake that many vegans make, which is to replace the nutrient-dense eggs and dairy with less nutritious, starchy foods and pasta and other processed carbohydrates. I really hope you enjoyed and benefited from this video. Let me remind people that this is not an attack on any group or lifestyle. My aim is just to educate and inform as many people as possible. If you did enjoy this video, then please subscribe so you can be notified about videos which I'm going to post on a weekly basis. Thanks for taking your time to watch this video. Please grab a copy of my free ebook. The link is present in the description below. I'll see you next time.